Hello friends and welcome back. I recently finished my pocket size sketchbook, so I thought it might be fun to do a little sketchbook tour. Very dark and gloomy day here, so if the lighting is less than desired, I'm doing my best. I've lit a cozy candle to help with the vibes. But anyways, this is a very ugly drawing on the first page, but I wanted this to be a place where I could be ugly. And I will show you when I get to a sketch that turned into a finished piece. I'll try and pop that up on the screen so you can see what that looks like and see how something that looks really ugly in your sketchbook could actually turn out into something really pretty or cute. I wrote over here that I purchased this sketchbook in Dresden, Germany, which I did. And it was a really cute art store. I don't remember the name of it. It was like Gerstaker or something like that, but I would love to go back. It was huge, absolutely huge. One of the biggest art stores I've ever been in. Anyways, these are some sketches I did after visiting the Louvre. Just from some of the paintings that I liked. Some girl sketches, and I sketched a gate with like a floral arch over it. I don't remember, this must have been some kind of prompt I was following when I did that. I sketched a really quick idea for a Wicked illustration because Wicked had just come out, and I never did anything with this, and I wish I had because that would have been cute. But some more just random sketches. Like I said, I was trying to be ugly. I always swatch new art supplies in one of my sketchbooks. A lot of them are in my other sketchbook because it has better paper, but I did do a few in here. I did this cute little pigeon. I really like this, and these are all Neocolor pastels. That's why it's so soft and pretty. Some more doodles. More doodles. I was practicing chickens and birds for some reason. And here you can see I did some expressions, which I do definitely explore a lot more at the end of the sketchbook. Oh, this is cute, a little sketch of a house. Oh, look at that. See, I don't even remember what's in the beginning parts of this sketchbook because it's been a while. I mean, obviously when I started this, Wicked had just come out. These were some prompts, so drawing your energy level, so it's physical, spiritual, mental, social, emotional. I must not have been having a very good day. This was from when that huge, devastating fire in Southern California happened. This is my very first drawing I did of like a complete scene with the house, and it turned out super cute. I would love to like fully render that into something, maybe with a cute character. Some really ugly sketches, except this pumpkin is really cute. Some gouache florals I was experimenting with. Some more swatches. Man, I couldn't remember the word for a minute. Some character illustration practice. Some more character illustration practice. I really like this cute girl. I think I should fully render her. I have not. But this one is a brainstorming I did for a portfolio piece, which is actually on my website, but I'll pop it in here. It's like a cute dress-up scene of a girl and a boy, and they're like pretending to fight a dragon or something. This mouse is really cute. Some more random doodles. I was practicing mice, I think probably for another portfolio piece that I did, so I will pop that one up in the video as well so you can see what that became. More doodles. This froggo is really cute. Okay, this one is also a piece that's in my portfolio right now. I wanted to do a full scene of two characters interacting with like some hidden gems in it. And so, I don't know if you can see in the sketch, but there's a little dog here, and there's a ladybug here, and a little bird. Just some little things that kids could find within the illustration. And then these were some posing practice on the right here. This page is ugly. I was just using up some paint marker, I think, but these little characters are cute. I especially love the little boy holding the flower over here. I think he's adorable. Okay, so this was like trying to draw a bedroom scene, and then this is a cutie witch that I sketched based on something I found on Pinterest, but I changed it up to make it my own. And then this girl I wanted to put into this scene. Fell asleep reading a book and has her kitty next to her. Very cute. I never ended up doing anything with that. These became Patreon illustrations. So it was a reading theme. So this one, and this one all became illustrations, and I will show those to you. I don't think this one did. I think I ended up going with something else for the fourth one. But these are some really pretty gouache painting and black fine liner that I did, and it turned into a little journaling page. It's an Anne Frank quote. It says, "Where there's hope, there's life. It fills us with fresh courage and makes us strong again." And then over here I've written, "The butterflies were inspired by Claire Therese." So thank you, Claire Therese, for the inspiration. All right, bears and mice. Another scene I was trying that did not go well. This was some doodles with Copic marker. I actually love the color palette here. It's really cute. Very warm. And then I just redid the thing on the other side because Copic markers always bleed through, but the bled through look is kind of fun too. And then this was lettering for, I think this did turn into a completed piece also. It says, "Be the reason to believe in kindness." I think it's on my Instagram. I'll pop it in here. That was a fun thing to try lettering. Some characters and some quotes. They got messed up because of drawing on the other side. This one is a Brene Brown quote. "The dark does not destroy the light, it defines it. It's our fear of the dark that casts our joy into shadows." And then I just drew a cute bunny with the moon and the flowers, and then these girls over here with more florals. More random doodles. This dog is cute. More random doodles on this side, and this cutie bird. I was practicing birds because I have some images that I want to render for my portfolio with birds, and I have not gotten around to that yet. So note to self. This is a cute painting I did in gouache of a girl in white. It was just a photo that I found on Pinterest, and I was just experimenting with my art supplies. There's also, I believe, colored pencil, and then just my regular, these are the Cola Race Carmine Red Prismacolor pencils, and they're my absolute favorite thing to sketch with. These are some fun inky doodles. I did end up getting back into ink kind of towards the middle of this, so you'll see more of the black line art. And then another little painting of a scene, which I would love to finish digitally. And I have scanned it into my computer, but it never went anywhere beyond that. You'll find that I have a lot of ideas, and I just don't get around to all of them because there just isn't time. This is also a finished piece now in my portfolio. It's a novice wizard, a boy who wants to be a wizard, and I finished it digitally, and it turned out really cute. I don't remember why I decided to draw lifelike animals, but I think they turned out really cute. Got a fox and a swan here. These were some sketches for potential characters for a children's book that I wrote, but I think I ended up deciding to go with human people instead of animal people for this one, but I might try and use these for something else because they're really cute. This little bun girl is cute, and then her little fawn friend, and then the raccoon boy. That would be a cute story. This is a gouache painting I did that I had really high hopes for. It's a ghost and a fox kind of hanging out in a garden of flowers, but I kind of hate it. I don't know why. Something about the ghost, I think, and the fox doesn't pop from the background. He's too dark. So that was a failed experiment, but I think I'll revisit that idea one day. All right, these are more sketches for Patreon. They're books again, so I guess we did another book theme. I think it was spring reading. So there's a girl with all of her books, and then this one I just drew the chair because I knew I could draw the girl in digitally, but I needed a little practice on drawing the chair, sitting outside reading. Then I really wanted to paint a moon, so I sketched the idea out first on this side and then refined it a little bit on this side before I painted it in, and I finished this digitally as well, and I will pop that up on the screen. Then we have some sunflowers, more bird practice. I think he turned out kind of cute. All right, and this is my mouse practice. I came up with a mouse character. I was doing a class, and we had to draw a mouse basically, and this is the character I came up with. So she, in the end, looked most like this one right here, and I'll show you the finished piece of that, but she came out really cute. And I did write a story about a mouse, so I might use that character in there. And then just more practice with her poses. I think I did end up fully rendering both of these, so I'll show that as well. Really cute. And then I was taking a Skillshare course by Dylan, oh my gosh, Mierzwinski? I think it's her last name. She just goes by Dylan M. She shared a Skillshare class called the Sketchbook Fillers Club, and she was talking about experimenting with your art supplies and doing this triangle method where you take 3 colors and blend them over top of each other so you can see in the corners what they look like blended together, and that can help you make some more interesting decisions when you're creating art. And then I just took all those same colors and made this little floral vase. And then I ended up writing in a quote, "And suddenly you know it's time to start something new and trust the magic of beginning." And I cannot read my handwriting on who said that, sorry. More sketches. I got really into drawing bunnies for a while. They're just so cute. I mean, who doesn't love a bunny? And then these were some fun gouache painting I did of like little potion bottles just for practice. I wasn't doing them for anything specifically. It might be a cute sticker sheet though. I'll have to think about that. And then I started practicing some lettering, and we'll see more of that later. But this is just another page with the triangle color swatching. And I believe I was using the Ecoline brush pen here, which are like watercolor markers. And then over here, I painted this in gouache for Indie Booksellers Day. So I posted that on Instagram on Indie Booksellers Day just to help encourage people to support their local indie bookstores. Oh yeah, and I love this color. It's like an indigo blue. It's a really grayish blue, which is one of my favorite colors. This is more hand lettering practice. So I've never written out a whole alphabet like this before when practicing my lettering. So this was a first for me, and I think it was really helpful because, like I told my son who's working on his handwriting, you get muscle memory when you write things over and over and over. So practicing writing will help your hand remember how to draw it later. And then it'll just feel like it comes naturally and it flows. So this ended up turning into a fully rendered page. I was just practicing a character with a bunch of different poses. So I did this cute little skateboarding fox guy. These were some more inky doodles, and then a few that I did in Copic marker. I think this color palette also turned out really cute. And then you'll see on the back I did the same thing. I just redrew it in reverse because of the bleed through. Then on this side, I kind of did a little art journaling, and I drew myself some little post-it notes and wrote on the notes like random notes I had written down or like around my desk at the time. Okay, this was some character design for the course I was taking on character design. We had to make a blind box toy, for the mouse character that we designed, and have different versions and stuff. So I'll show you what I came up with here. But basically, you get a tiny little flower pot. This is the idea I came up with. Tiny little flower pot, and inside the flower pot is a mouse figurine that's in a different fruit for this series, it would be all fruits. So there's a strawberry mouse, a blueberry mouse, a raspberry mouse, and the rare mouse was the gooseberry mouse. The label on top of the little pot was going to be compostable, and then it would come with seeds for the fruit, the berry that you got, and stickers to decorate the pot, and then you can plant the seeds in the pot and grow your own berries. I thought that was a cute, more sustainable version of a blind box. I think blind boxes are really fun and interesting, and they kind of scratch that itch of like taking a risk without taking too much of a risk, but at the same time the sustainability of them really stresses me out sometimes. And then these were sketches for perfume collection, which I did turn into sticker sheets, and I will pop that up on the screen, and I'll link it down below. But that was a fun one to do. I did a whole page of illustrated perfume bottles, and that was really fun. And then this is Neocolors again on the right, I think. And I did a girl in Neocolor, and it says, "Do something that makes you feel alive today." Here I sketched out my plan for how I wanted to do my journaling spread for Vienna, and there's a video on that. I'll link that also. Doing this sketch really helped me because I get overwhelmed by just having a big blank page in front of me, and I get overwhelmed with all the decisions that go in deciding where everything goes. So it was nice to do that ahead of time. Here I was practicing some 1920s style dancers, and I drew this cute little flapper girl. I thought that pose was really cute. I'm really upset that this transferred over when I drew on the other side because it messed it up. And then here I was brainstorming maybe some bookmark designs. This little layout here turned into an illustration. I'll pop that up, and I just hand lettered something in the middle. This was brainstorming for a board game using the same mice idea from earlier. It was like the last part of the course, and I don't want to explain the whole thing, but I'll pop the image up on the screen so you can see what it looks like. But it was basically the idea of the hi-ho cherry-o game, where you spin the wheel and you get the cherries, except in this case you have to, what did you have to do? You had to draw a card and then advance your mouse up the ladder into the berry bush, and then they could collect one berry and then go down the slide and put it in their basket, and then the first one to fill up their basket and make their jam was the winner. Kind of a cottagecore style concept. And then this was just some more inky doodles on the left. I think this page turned out really cute. And then this was my sketch for the Hello July illustration that I posted on Instagram. What does this say? I think it says Happy Juneteenth. That would have been a cute illustration if I had had time to do it. And then this is my 4th of July illustration, just someone holding a flag that says, "With liberty and justice for all," and a little note to myself at the top. And then here is my sketch for the Hello August version. I was going to do a back to school version, but I never got around to it, so I just ended up sketching a cute little girl with her backpack also. More exploration with emotions. Draw this cute, very tall and skinny house. I was inspired by something on Pinterest, I think. This was a picture of a girl holding like a paper mache dinosaur that I drew, and I think she turned out really cute. And then I experimented a little bit more with that character over here. This was a sketch I did for my patrons. Not this part, but right here. I did this sketch for my patrons and to find out what theme they wanted to do for, I think it was the month of July. I think it was July. They could choose sundress weather, an Amsterdam summer, or a farmer's market. And I think they ended up choosing an Amsterdam summer, and I'll pop that illustration up as well. Some more sketches. I experimented with drawing different glasses. I ended up fully rendering a cute bee character wearing the honeycomb shaped glasses. I thought that was such a cute idea for a bee to be wearing honeycomb shaped glasses. This mouse is really cute. Started experimenting with elephants and outfit ideas because I was taking the Illustrating Children's Books course by Make Art That Sells, and the character was a elephant and a bee. Drawing different hats. These are all in gouache, or no, not gouache. These are all in pastels with fine liner, and then different hairstyle practice. And this was my character development for Nellie. I don't think any of these show what she turned out in the final draft, but I'll show that to you here also. But she definitely ended up with this shape of head and this style of body. And then sketches for the bee character, some expression sketches, and I ended up really loving drawing in red ink. So I experimented with sketching in my red pen first and then going over it in the red ink, and I really, really like how that turned out. So these are experimenting with emotions with my elephant character. Like, look how cute these are. I love these. My favorite is the worried expression, because she does look really worried. And then this one, the disbelief. I think that's funny. And then same thing, experimenting with emotions for the cute little bee character. And then some more kid character expression practice. Oh, and then I came up with these two super cute characters, which I know there's a story there. I just haven't figured out what it is yet, but it's a little girl and her friend Ghost, and I love this down here. They're having a little tea party together. I think that's so fun. And then this was posing practice, like trying to draw characters in action. I think that one's really cute. This one's pretty good. I used someone else's illustration to figure out this pose. I really liked how they drew it, so I practiced it in my sketchbook. And then I was experimenting with putting the elephant character on 4 legs instead of 2 legs, but ultimately decided to have her walk like a person. And then just some more posing practice. And that's it. My last page. I feel like my sketchbook started how it ended. It started with a really ugly drawing and it ended with really ugly drawings. Like most of these are just literally just stick figures because I was trying to capture the movement. I was just looking at references of pictures of people online and then just literally drawing a stick figure to capture the movement. So that's it for my pocket sketchbook flip through. I'm currently working on 2 sketchbooks now. One of them is just for drawing and being ugly, and the other one is for using my art supplies more because the paper is a lot thicker and it can handle it better. But I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I know I was on a bit of a hiatus over the summer. It's just so hard to film when all my kids are home from school. But anyways, I am so glad that you're here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.